Welcome, viewers and friends, to the August 21st, 2025 edition of East End News on LTV. This is your community and your news. I'm Christine Sampson. Last Friday was a joyful day in Montauk, where the community gathered to cut the ribbon on a project nearly 2 decades in the making. Let's take a look.
Perhaps East Hampton Town Supervisor Kathy Burke-Gonzalez said it best. This moment belongs to Montauk. The moment was one that people in town have been anticipating for nearly 2 decades, a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Montauk Community Playhouse Aquatic and Cultural Centers.
What surrounds us today is the result of years of collaboration, a place shaped by people who believed in each other and in the future of Montauk.
Hundreds of locals turned out for a first look at the aquatic and cultural facility, which isn't fully open yet but will be soon. When it does open, people will be able to take advantage of a 4-lane lap pool and therapy pool, plus spaces for gathering, celebrating, and appreciating art, culture, and community. Even Governor Kathy Hochul made an appearance.
You think about places like this. I know the community's anxious to see the aquatic center. I know you need some approvals. If you need something from the state, you got it right now. Do you need anything from the state on that? I'll just give me a pen. But I cannot wait to see the children experiencing that opportunity to learn to swim. And my God, if you don't know how to swim in this area and you go in the water, it could be life-threatening. So this will literally save people's lives. And for our seniors, incredible therapy they can get by being in the water. It relaxes all the muscles.
The $16.1 million building project took what was essentially a 50,000 square foot shell of a space and totally transformed it.
3, 2, 1.
Stay tuned for more to come on this new community hub, an accomplishment for all of Montauk to celebrate. For East End News, I'm Christine Sampson.
Sag Harbor has a new national landmark to celebrate. It's the John Steinbeck House, where the Pulitzer and Nobel Prize-winning novelist lived from 1955 to 1968. The waterfront property features a cottage and separate writing studio where he composed one of his most highly regarded books, The Winter of Our Discontent. State Assemblyman Tommy John Scivone announced this week that the house has been added to the National Register of Historic Places. Assemblyman Scivone had this to say: "This recognition also highlights the importance of protecting places that inspire creativity and community, and it stands as a testament to the efforts of so many who work to ensure that this home will continue to welcome writers and readers for generations to come." The house was purchased for preservation in 2023 through a massive fundraising effort and now houses a residency program for authors through the University of Texas. It's currently open for weekend tours by reservation. The Jewish Center of the Hamptons is lending a hand to children at the Spring School by loading up 150 backpacks with new school supplies for kids in need. Among local districts, government data shows that the Spring School has one of the largest concentrations of children who come from economically disadvantaged households. The Jewish Center's donation comes right in time for the start of school in September. Families can pick up the backpacks at the Spring School on Friday, August 22nd from 9 to 11 a.m. Those who can't make it can call the school for a special pickup time. Nancy Carney, the Springs superintendent, told the community during this week's school board meeting that, quote, "We're very appreciative of that donation. It's something that's really appreciated by our families as well." The Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation is racing against time to find permanent or foster homes for over 100 dogs, cats, and rabbits by September 2nd. East End News spoke with its executive director, Chris Tickle, to find out why this is and what the plans are for the future of the shelter.
So we're building a temporary shelter. We have to be out of the building completely by the 2nd of September. So we're really ramping up our foster program. There's a foster to adopt program for those who just aren't feeling like they want to fully commit. But we are trying to obviously move or reduce our number of animals as low as we possibly can. While we are closing, as in the shelter is closing, we still need to be up and running. And so we'll be receiving animals and conducting adoptions as if we were open. The long-term facility looks incredible. I think think if we're aiming to reopen on January next year, we'll have brand new kennels, we'll have brand new floors. The place will be have given a well-needed upgrade. I'm really excited about the long-term vision for the shelter. I think it's been 16 years since there has been an upgrade to the facility, so I think I think it really sits really well for the next 2-3 years, ramping up adoptions, increasing our visibility in the community. So we'll get through this, and then we'll come out of it a lot stronger and be excited about the next 2-3 years ahead.
The Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation also has some special events coming up. Sup with Your Pup happens on Saturday, August 23rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Dockers Waterside Marina in East Quogue. And on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can snag some household treasures and pet supplies at a yard sale at the shelter's facility in Hampton Bays. The website for more information is southamptonanimalshelter.com. In other Animal Kingdom news, the New York Marine Rescue Center is having a banner year for sea turtle rescues and rehabilitation at its Riverhead facility. Let's take a look.
The New York Marine Rescue Center is in the midst of its busiest year on record for the rescue, rehabilitation, and release of cold-stunned sea turtles. The Riverhead-based organization has helped 150 sea turtles so far this year. To put that in perspective, in 2017, the group helped 40 turtles, which at that time was a record high. Maxine Montello, the organization's executive director, explained a few of the factors in play this year.
We think it's, a couple things. One, we've really increased our presence in the community, promoting that hotline. We train people to look for turtles on the beaches during the winter. A lot of times these turtles actually look deceased on the beach. And so maybe in the past, if someone didn't have the right information, they'd walk right by that animal and not think that it might be in danger. And we also know that our kind of seasons are really getting lost. And if you remember last year, we had kind of like a really long summer. It didn't really get cold until late November. And so because of that, so many turtles stayed here, that there was more turtles that were kind of exposed to that drop in temperature.
Montello described reptiles as slow healers. It usually takes about 7 to 8 months to help a sea turtle fully recover from a cold stun or other type of issue before it can be released back into the wild.
So it does take us a lot of time. We also need the water temperature to be back to kind of ideal, which is in the mid to high 60s. So that really doesn't happen here until late June. One turtle on the 31st was a boat strike turtle, actually got hit by a propeller to its head. And that was in Queens. And we actually had that turtle for a year.
Most of the rescue center's turtle releases happen at Tiana Beach in Hampton Bays.
We show up to the beach around 10 of 6, and then the turtles kind of get a nice welcoming to the crowd. We have these nice crates that they're kind of brought down to the beach in.
The New York Marine Rescue Center may be located in Riverhead at the Long Island Aquarium, but it is responsible for rescues of turtles, seals, dolphins, and small whales from Montauk all the way up to the Hudson Valley. You can learn more about the organization at nymarinerescue.org. This is Christine Sampson reporting from Riverhead for East End News on LTV.
There's a special film screening coming up at the West Hampton Beach Performing Arts Center on Monday. The organization Hampton's Pride is hosting a showing of the film Brother Outsider, The Life of Bayard Rustin, an acclaimed documentary that was screened at the World Pride Festival earlier this year. The goal of the screening is to expose people to important films that tell narratives for and about LGBTQ+ people, and the story of Bayard Rustin fits that narrative. He was an organizer of the August 1963 March on Washington, but his name might not be well known because he was openly gay. Tom House, the founder of Hampton's Pride, had this to say: "We can all learn from his awe-inspiring fortitude, and for some, it will be their introduction to a key civil and gay rights leader." The compelling screening happens at 7:30 p.m. There will also be a panel discussion and post-film reception. General admission is $23 and student tickets cost $10. Full details are online at whbpac.org. Today we end our show where we began, in Montauk. A highly acclaimed history exhibit is ongoing at the Carl Fisher House through Labor Day. Correspondent Dara Berger has the story.
Montauk holds a very rich and special history, but its secrets surrounding the part it played in Prohibition may be the most interesting. You can view secret code books and shoes that were made to leave behind cow imprints at the Montauk Historical Society's special exhibit on display until Labor Day.
So when Prohibition first began, Montauk had a big advantage in terms of a place where you could come in and easily enough. At that time, international waters were 3 miles offshore, so the boats would just line up 3 miles offshore, and the smaller boats would go and bring the booze in.
The exhibit has many historical items on display like those that were used during that time period, but one of the exhibit's special highlights is being able to hear the oral stories that they have been collecting from many local residents, including fishermen describing being a bootlegger when they were young. Chair Teach says that a grant was provided by the Robert David Leon Gardner Foundation to support this specific exhibit.
In terms of records, the goal was to not have any, which makes the research really interesting. So a lot of what we did was look through newspaper records, so reports about crimes and information like that.
The Montauk Historical Society has a total of 4 properties that they own or manage. Another wonderful exhibit can be seen at their second house property.
Now we're hosting a photography exhibition by Nat Ward. It's Ditch Montauk, so it's all featuring photos from ditch planes between 2018 and 2023.
Besides seeing the beautiful images from a beloved popular beach spot, the building just went through a major renovation and transformation. However, they left some of the much older parts of the building for visitors to experience. Chair Teach says it is proceeds collected from admissions to their exhibits, grants, and events like their recent Norah Jones concert at the Lighthouse that help support the not-for-profit's mission to preserve the area's rich history. Dara Berger reporting from Montauk for LTV East End News.
Thanks for watching today's episode of East End News on LTV, bringing you hyper-local headlines through the power of public access television. I'm Christine Sampson. We'll see you next week.